When the coalition government came in, within weeks all support had been cut to a friend of mine and her adult severe needs, challenging behaviour, autistic son, who is over 6 foot tall and is quite a strong lad. After being stuck 24/7 for days and weeks without help, support or a respite, my friend was attacked by her son. She fell and her spine was broken in 3 places. The ambulance and emergency services were called, but could not get her to hospital. The social services refused to actually give any support or any respite or any placement for her son so that she could go into hospital. She had to lay on the floor for 6 to 8 hours with the ambulance staff there, the paramedics there, the emergency doctor, urgently needing her to go into hospital, and there was no support. This is not the only case. There has been cases of full-time carers who have had heart attacks in front of their charges and again been told they cannot go to hospital because there is no respite or relief for the dependent disabled person they are in charge of. It doesn't matter whether it's a disabled child or whether it's an elderly, senile, dementia person. Eventually, she got into hospital because her 84-year-old mother came to support, and her daughter eventually was let off work. But her daughter, who runs 3 jobs, has her own life and is doing a full-time course at the moment, was told by all employers that she would not be allowed any time off work to look after her brother or support her mother, or else she would be sacked. Therefore, after 3 days of being in hospital, my friend had to come home. Her back was not mended, she was on very high pain medication, and she was in a full body brace, and yet she had to come home and be on her own to again return to supporting and being the only carer for her son 24/7, and still no support was put in. Even at that time, Atos Healthcare tried to summon her and insist that with a spine broken in 3 places, a full body brace and high pain medication, and a severe, highly dependent autistic adult son, that she was fit for work and could actually work and leave her son at home. She got out of that one, but for her own health and well-being and safety of her son, she had to decide to move and give up her home of over 20 years, move away from all family, neighbours and friends to go to a borough that still supported parents with special needs in their own homes. This worked out for a bit, but again support was being removed and limited. She again ended up on her own, and with the intense relationship with her son, got assaulted again. Again she had to wait 3 days with black eyes and a swollen head until the carers came round and decided that she could not continue like this. Their answer was that she was removed and put in her own bedsit, alone on her own, removed from her son, and that carers would be put into the home 24/7 and care for him, with at least 2 carers on at a time over 3 shifts. I find it absolutely amazing that after refusing all care, any support, and her being left on her own, that now they can find 15 people to cover the same time as my friend was looking after her son. But the onus is on her son, not her. She has no support, she has no care, and she's even cut off from messages from her family and friends. When I phoned up to check, they refused even to pass a message on to her to give her my new phone number, as it was not their business, not in their remit, and she was of no responsibility or consideration for care at all. At the moment, she remained cut off. I don't know where she is, but I know that she's alone, and she's just given up herself, and given up her home, and she's just given up comfort and friend. Just think of years of looking after a disabled or special needs child or relation finished because of the actions of this government. It's hard to be a carer. It's hard to be a full-time carer. It's hard to actually have all respite support and resources taken off you, to have nowhere to go and no relief. But to give up the person that you've given up your life for, and who you care and love, must be the most hardest thing in the world, and one of the most cruelest for the government to do. In the coalition era, more people have had to go into care because they cannot look after the people who are dependent on them. More parents have had to decide to give up their children. This is because when money and benefits are given, people cannot look after their homes and families and parents, and cannot provide, clean and feed children on £31 a week, £57 a week, or even less, or nothing. Benefits do not just look after one person, they look after all its family dependents on the adult and the adult's income. Many feel they have to accept they cannot keep their children, and there's been a rapid increase in children having to go into care as people cannot look after their own. Social services say there are over 10,000 children needed to be put up for adoption or fostering because of the rapid increase. 10,000 children, the majority of which would still like to be at home with their mum, their brothers and sisters, and their family, and their grandmothers and grandpas.